We are back with a shoulders and arms day that I did. Starting off here with a machine shoulder press movement. I really like this one as I feel like I can get pretty good depth on it with the seat height drop down. Focusing on my breathing as per usual, and then going close to failure or to failure on all of my sets that I do. You don't need to look up into the sky like I am here. It's just something that I do. It keeps my neck at a neutral position. I don't want to be craning forward or anything and putting strain on my neck. Control the eccentric down. Perfect. Now onto this lateral raise machine. I really like this one too. I like the shoulder exercises or the shoulder machines that my gym has, so I'm pretty thankful for that. And then on this one I try and go pretty decently heavy, but keeping my shoulders down. You don't want to kind of do like a shrug movement, as you're going to bring in a lot of traps into that, and that's not really our focus. We're trying to train our shoulders and not our traps. That would be for my back day. Focusing on my breath work here. Again, if you're not focusing on your breathing, you're really missing out on a lot when it comes to pushing to failure, because it's just harder to do consistently if you're not focusing on your breathing. And then into my first tricep movement of the day, overhead tricep extension. For this one, I try and keep my elbows decently close to my head, bringing the weight all the way down, and then extending fully at the elbow all the way up. I'm also bracing my core during this because you can kind of get into the habit of maybe hunching over or feeling a little unstable at your core, so trying to tense up that as much as possible so you're only focusing on that elbow moving, not your shoulder, not your back, anything else. And then I have a tricep push down here. I go for the rope attachment compared to that V-bar attachment that I had on the one prior. Crazy dap out of those guys. Alright, a couple more reps here. I went a little bit heavier on this one than I did the last time, so that's pretty good. I had a rest day prior to this, so I was feeling pretty good. Can't get that last one. Alright, into the favorite one of the day, Preacher Curl. This machine finally got fixed, which I'm pretty pumped about. There is another Preacher Curl machine, but it's just not as good as this one, so I'm glad that this is back. I was just doing dumbbell curls for a while. Again, focusing on my breath here, trying to drive up with those pinkies on this one as I want to get a little bit more supination. I wish that the handle was straight on this, but it's alright. Gotta do what you got. I get one more rep after this, I'm pretty sure, right? No, just control the eccentric. Alright, last one for the day. Hammer curl, and then we're going to go into some posing, and then I have the post-lift talk. So, big breath there, as you can see. Bringing it up. Controlled on the way down. I'm going for 40s here instead of 35s, wanting to up the weight on these, so I don't get as many reps as usual, and I do a couple half reps at the end. But that's perfectly fine. Progress is progress. If you have to go up and weight in something and get less reps, that's alright. Just want to continuously progressive overload every single training session that we have. And again, I'm kind of saying the same things in all these videos, guys, but it's because what you do matters, and you just do what works, and you get results. So, yeah, sounds repetitive, but posing with some music. Here we go. Post-lift talk, and the thing I kind of want to talk about today is I had a really good workout, really good pump, and it felt good. Like I had high energy, everything else. But this isn't something that I'm going to come to expect, right? And so you kind of have to take the good days with the bad days when it comes to your training and nutrition, sleep, stress, all this stuff, right? But especially with training, because I don't know about everyone. I definitely, on occasion, will hinge my emotions off of how my workout is, and that's not healthy. I understand that, and I'm working on that. But if I have a really good workout, I'm like, man, I'm gonna have a really good day. And if I have a really bad workout, I gotta kind of talk myself out of that negativity towards it. But
that's just how life goes. Let's say you don't sleep good the night before, and then you wake up and you have everything else go as planned, but then, you didn't sleep well, so your workout is bad. Or let's say, the day before you had, a bunch of junk food, so your body just doesn't really feel that great. You're kind of lethargic, and then your workout's not great. Well, there's reasoning for that. So if it's in your control, if it's things that you're doing that are making your workouts bad, obviously just have to get back on track with those or start managing those. So if you're not managing your nutrition, hydration, sleep, stress, all of this other stuff, you can either work with a coach like me, go into the link in my description where it has my website, and just fill out the form. You just have to scroll down and you fill that out. You can work with me and I help you plan all of that stuff, and I track it for you and I coach you through it, and we have coaching calls where we talk about it. Or if you want to track it on your own, that's perfectly fine, but you just have to make sure you're managing it and understanding, okay, well, if I went to bed later last night and I didn't eat well, no wonder my workout's not great, right? But this is all kind of coming together to say, I don't expect myself to work out to this caliber every single day. I don't expect myself to always go up in reps, always go up in sets, always, walk out feeling super energetic and well-trained and ready to go on with my day. Especially, on mornings where I have bad sleep, whatever, or, I don't eat great, and then I go work out and I feel bad afterwards. You have to kind of break that cycle of negativity. You wake up, don't feel good. Workout, doesn't feel good. You could continue that through the rest of the day. You could let that determine the rest of your day and have a bad day from that point forward. But you shouldn't. You shouldn't let your emotions hinge off of if you have a good workout or not. And a workout is better than no workout. A bad workout is better than no workout. You being physically active in any capacity is better than not being physically active at all, for not only your health, but also for muscle growth. You're either going to maintain or still continue to grow. On the days where you don't feel good, that doesn't mean that your muscle doesn't feel good. Your muscle doesn't feel your emotions. It's not like, okay, well, Max is sad today, so we're probably not going to grow as much. No, if you give it stimulus and it's enough to need or necessitate growth, and then you give it the nutrition that it needs in order to do so, it'll grow. It doesn't care if you're sad, happy, mad, whatever, it'll do it. You give it what it needs and it'll work. So this is all just kind of to say that there are bad days when it comes to lifting. I post a lot of my workouts on YouTube, and you don't hear me in the moment talking about them. I don't have a mic or anything, but some of those workouts that I post, I did not feel good. And some of the workouts that I have that I don't post, I did not feel good. And some of them I feel great, but you don't see that. And so I don't want you to get this idea that all my workouts are, fine and dandy, or that all of your workouts need to be. Sometimes you just got to get yourself there and go through it. There are days where I get myself there and I do half the amount of sets that I would usually do because I'm just tired. I'm shot. It is hard to force myself to even be in the gym at that time. I got to slog my way through cardio, and I have to trudge my way through my workout, and then I go home and I don't want to do anything for the rest of the day. And that sometimes happens. That's life, okay? And so we have to kind of take the good with the bad, especially when you're training in the way that I do, or that you should, for growth, which is close to failure. Because it's hard. It's not easy to do. Not only is it physically taxing, it's mentally taxing. And mentally more than physically, I would say, because everyone can get close to failure, but mentally can they get themselves there? There have been studies that have found that the RPE, or rating of perceived exertion, the scale of 1 to 10 on how people feel about their workout or how close they were to failure or how exerted they were, 10 being the most you could do, you could not do a single more rep, 1 being I could have done 10 more reps, or it wasn't hard at all. People that were studied found that on average they were 10 reps shy of failure when they thought they were at RPE 10 reps shy when they thought they were at RPE 10. So that goes to show that it is a mental game more than anything. Because then when they retested them, they had a group of scientists go into there and be like, yeah, you got this, clapping for them, cheering them on. They did 10 more. And so it really comes down to the fact that when you don't have that cheering squad behind you, when you don't have that music pumping you up, when you don't have a gym partner telling you what to do, when you're having those bad days, you have to still push yourself. And it's hard. And certain days, that pushing yourself might be just getting you there. But other days, it might be going to failure on every single set. So I know this is kind of a jumbled mess of a conversation. I didn't really have a singular train of thought like I usually do with these videos and my talks. So apologies if I kind of lost you along the way. But hopefully you pulled something from that, as I think it's important to understand that not every day in the gym is going to be a good day. But every day that you are there and you show up is a good day. So if you liked the video, if you want more content like this, comment and let me know what type of videos you want, or if you enjoyed it, comment. I respond to every single comment. I appreciate it whenever you do. So that's awesome. Otherwise, like, turn on the notifications, and subscribe. Peace.